Pittsburgh's history tells us the right pick in this game. RJ Bell here at the pregame.com studios, just off the Vegas Strip. We've got Kansas City at the Pittsburgh Steelers.
RJ, 2-0. Your last two picks on Pittsburgh Steeler games. Give me another winner, baby. Who you got?
That's it. We're keeping the streak going. We're going over the total. And here's the thinking. We talked last week, when Pittsburgh is fat and happy, they tend to drop off. I think it's a coaching issue. Obviously, Tomlin's a good coach, but we got to give negativity where it's due. When this team is rolling, they tend to lay an egg sometimes. They certainly did last week against Philadelphia. But here's the flip side. When the team has their back against the wall, when they have to bounce back, Pittsburgh tends to. When the intensity is there, the performance is there, and I expect this offense, which laid a horrible egg last week. And remember, this offense is supposed to be one of the best, if not the best in the NFL. I expect a big game at home, and that's going to contribute to the high scoring and over the total.
And that offense, speaking of laying an egg, last year, under the direction of the much-despised Landry Jones.
Oh, Landry.
Laid a huge egg, 13-23. They lose in Arrowhead. More motivation for the offense to kick some butt.
I like Landry on Friday Night Lights. I don't know if you watch it. Landry Jones, no. But I'm not sure about that. I think if it's a rivalry game, I believe in revenge in the NFL. If a team's defeat of the Steelers caused a big negative last year, but every loss causes some negative. And then if you've been beat time and time again against a team, I think all of that, we want to make our stand. I don't think we have a ton of that. So I think that Pittsburgh certainly doesn't want to fall to 2-2, especially with Baltimore playing the way they're playing. So I think the motivation is there, but I don't think revenge so much. Now, I'll tell you the second point, though, Fez, in this game. I think it's driven by this defense. Lot of youth. And I think the defensive line for the Steelers is particularly good, right? I think Hayward, I think that Tuitt is great. I think the linebackers have a ton of potential. But we're not talking about 2 years from now, a year from now, 5 years from now. We're talking about now. And this is one of the 4 or 5 worst defenses in the NFL Pittsburgh has. I don't think people realize just how bad they are, and I think that's another factor.
Yeah, let's talk about how awful their defense is. Yards per play is the metric that wise guys like to measure teams' defense and offense.
Because it takes the pace out. Right? Yards per play, doesn't matter how many snaps you take, it's how are you doing each snap.
Right. It's like an efficiency rating, and Pittsburgh is giving up 6.5 yards per play. Now let's compare that to the league average, 5.6 yards per play. So almost a yard more every time.
Every snap.
Every snap. And because of that, a huge red flag, and we know Pittsburgh's going to score more. Let's make it official.
But one last thing, and then we'll make it official in a second, is last year, at the end of the Steelers season, they actually played 6 backup quarterbacks in a row. So even if you look at last year's stats and try to go forward, I think it was a little bit deceiving. Let's make it official. We've got a Pittsburgh team. The offense, I expect to bounce back. The defense is worse than people think. Add it up, you got over the total. More videos, pregame.com.